Ecclesiasticus 22:13, talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Give double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutation to the sincere Akim out there pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. Just want to get a quick lesson on, you could say surrounding yourself or talking to or just being, being in the area with a plethora of fools, try to stay as distant from them as possible. And I'm going to read this again, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 22:13. Talk not much with the fool. You ever heard that saying? Some people say it as a joke, or some people say it seriously, like, after talking to him, I got dumber, And being around a fool, that is very true. That's why it's telling you, this is an exhortation, don't talk to, a fool, But, we're all spiritual men, and we're after the spirit, like it says in the book of Romans, So we understand how to filter things of this world, But talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that have no understanding. All right? And there's a certain people that you go to for that understanding, because the Most High did set teachers for us to learn from. All right? And I'm going to go give you some scriptures to back up what I just said. I'm going to stay in the same book. I'm just going to go to chapter 8. Bear with me, Akim. You know what, that's fine. I'm just going to go to the blue letter and get a different scripture. We're going to go, we're going to stay in, the wisdom packed books for this lesson. It's just, I'm going to go to Proverbs 10 and 11. Proverbs 10 and 11, and it reads, the mouth of a righteous man is well of life. If we know who the righteous men are, you got your apostles, your elders, on down, your heads of camps, your second in commands, so on and so forth. Those are your righteous men. Those are who you need to talk to, because they're not fools. All right. But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked, because ultimately, wickedness promotes death. It says, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. There's nothing but lies and deceit, death, destruction, so on and so forth, coming from the wicked, and ultimately that the main wicked is Esau. All right. Proverbs 10 and 11 again. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life. So, like the scriptures say, I can just go to it real quick. Let's see. I know it's a little off topic, but I'm still going to get it. I'm going to go to Romans 8 and start at 6. For the carnally minded is death, and ultimately wicked people are going to be the most carnal people you run into. Simple-minded people, they're fools, all right, because they hate knowledge. So for the carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And that's why I told you earlier in this lesson, I said we filter everything, all this wickedness, whatever. We filter this world that we're in right now through the scriptures, because we're spiritual men. If you're, the men of the Lord, they're spiritual men. Everything is spiritual. Everywhere they go, anywhere they step in, go to a coffee shop or whatever, it's always spiritual. We understand that. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Now I want to get one more scripture showing you who you should be talking to, who you should be listening to. All right, let's go back to Google. Ecclesiasticus, the 8th chapter. And specific, I want to get verse 9. All right. Let's go to it. Ecclesiasticus 9 and 8. Oh, Salak. Not 9. Chapter 8. Here we go. Ecclesiasticus 8 and 9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn from their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth. Miss not the discourse of the elders. That's who you should be listening to. And I had the pleasure and the opportunity to be around one of the apostles and one of the elders. And if you go on my page, I recently did how you should be conducting yourself around men like that. You should just be soaking it in, be a sponge, and listen. They get good advice, wise words, and they're giving you, ultimately life, because everything they say is coming from the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because these words, that's the spirit, and whatever whatever they're coming out of their mouth, it's going to come from these words, and it would behoove you to listen to them. So miss not the discourse of the elders. And stay clear and stay away from fools and idiots, ultimately, and surround yourself with men who are going to incline and educate you, which means to bring something out, or bring out, who are going to educate you on things pertaining to your well-being, and it's going to be beneficial to you. So with that, I want to say, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the first fruit, elect 144. Shalom.